Okay, old goats, it's starting to get cold outside, so I'm going to start doing inside work. It's something I kind of started last year. I didn't get very far. So my plan is to get a lot further this year than I did last year. Actually, my plan is to actually finish my room here. This is where my office, where my studio is going to be. Just my man cave. I mean, just because I'm calling it an office or a studio doesn't make it anything more than just a man cave. I actually had to sit here and wait for a while for the furnace to kick off, because when it's running, you can't hear much of what I'm saying at all. The dryer is running at the moment, so that's probably getting picked up by the camera also, and that's also potentially problematic. So the idea here, or at least in my mind, is that I have water that comes in on this corner back and behind, which we'll turn around and show that here in a little bit. But I have water that comes in on this corner. So when I graded off the outside of the house, that was hopefully to fix this small water problem. And it's not a lot of water. I mean, it trickles in. It doesn't even puddle on the floor. I mean, it does make a little bit of a stream, I guess, but it's just wet floor. It's not standing water. It's just damp floor, and it does move down over towards the other side of the. I'm not sure how that works because there's never standing water, but it does. The little small wetness moves. So whatever, small amount. I'm fairly certain that the dry lock will fix that, but I went ahead and sloped the outside anyway, just as a backup. Because that's what you should do in the first place, is you should take care of the water problem on the outside first anyway. So I think I got that. If that was my problem, that should fix it. If not, the dry lock will, with as little bit of water as we're talking. Also, in the far corner over there, if it rains for like 2 weeks straight, it takes a little bit of water. And that's in the other room, right over there, with that dungeon door on it. So it's kind of the same thing where it's just a damp floor. Only it's a damper of a spot, a bigger spot of dampers. But it stays over towards that wall, and it never comes over this way. It just goes straight down the wall to the drain. So I'm not so concerned about that, because it's going to be outside of my room, outside of my office. I mean, I'll get to it. It's just my plan for this year. I mean, last year I wanted to get the whole basement done and hip hurrah. But there's a lot of problems with doing this basement that way. The stairs, for one, the stairs are right up against the wall. There's no way for me to really put a wall in there. Plus the stairs are crooked. The stairs are junk and they need replaced. I don't want to replace them right now. I want to get my room done. So the furnace is a huge problem for me because of the noise. So my wall there, I'm going to have to do some sort of insulation to deaden, or at least pull that noise out. Plus the vent for down here is right up there at the top of that furnace. So I'm going to have to, put something out of there and push it into this room. Maybe split it off so it splits into the rest of the basement and splits into my room. I'm trying to think if there's any other problems on that side. I don't think there is. But it's basically, we're going to go as close to the furnace as we safely can. I mean, whether it's a foot off, whether it's 10 inches off, I'm going to look it up and find out how far off I need to be. I'm going to assume it's not a whole lot, because in trailers, you're butt up against them anyway. So I'm going to assume 6 inches or a foot will be plenty. But I'm going to look it up anyway. We're just going to go straight down to kind of in line with the chimney. I don't want the chimney in my room. Plus the water heater is just this side of the chimney a little bit, which I don't know why they didn't push it over to be flush with the chimney, but they didn't. So I don't want to cut a whole bunch of pipe and refit everything and move everything around. So it's going to stay the way it is. Also, I got 4 HVAC conduits or whatever those things are called above me. Now those 4 are all insulated because it is a little colder down here, and that's not going to give me much headroom over on this side of the room. So there's that as a problem, which I think I got that somewhat figured out. Drop the ceiling down a little bit over this area, put a desk over here, we should be okay. Another problem is this pole right here. This is a jack, and I don't think it was put in to hold anything up. I mean, I'm not removing it because it might be holding something up, and I'm not going to pay someone to come in and look at it and tell me if I can move it or not. I actually think it was put in to hold a piece of wood that holds another piece of wood that holds a pipe. I think. I'm not going to test that out. It's going to stay right here, right in the middle of my room. But I'm going to put a soffit around it or something. You know, we'll figure some way out to make this thing be part of the room. I don't care if I have to paint it baby blue, as long as it looks okay and flows fine. I'm good with it. There was one more problem I thought of. I have no cold air return for my heater, which is not really a problem for my room, but it is a problem for the house. So I have a way to put a cold air return in. It's going to be mostly out of my way. It's all going to be outside of my room, and it'll be mostly out of my way to get into that small room and then the other smaller, or the bigger of the small 2 rooms. So it'll be out of my man cave, and then but it'll be out of the way of the other 2 rooms. So I'll still be in and out of those. So I think I got that figured out for how to do that real quick and easy. Not going to cost me a whole lot. We might get to that this year. My main concern is man cave. We're going to show you the other side of the room so you can see some of the problems over there. Okay? Okay. So as you can see, on this side of the room, there was mainly one problem: the old cistern. That's it. The old cistern right in the middle. Well, in the corner. So there again, I think since the overhead's going to be low in that area anyway, if I just put a desk over it, I could probably cover it up with a cupboard or a drawer or something to where it's not really in the way. I mean, I would cut it off, flush with the floor, but I'm kind of afraid that it might not be plugged somewhere down below, and then water might come out of it. So I really don't want to cut it off because I don't know very much about those things. It hasn't been in use since I was maybe 4 or 5. I'm not 100% sure, but it is there. And I mean, it was being used. That's really the only problem on that side. Well, one other small problem. I've only got one receptacle here. But I can pay an electrician to come in and wire me up a couple more receptacles. And I plan on doing that once I get the walls up and the actual wall insulated and the walls up. I'm not putting insulation in my frame because I'm under the impression that that's a bad thing to put batt insulation in the frame in a basement where you're gonna take in water anyway. So we're gonna put the safe insulation up against the wall and then frame it just slightly away from the wall, just enough for the insulation to be in there. And then I might buy a little bit more of that insulation and actually put that in the frame, because I think from the insulation I found, I think it's R9 or R13, I don't know which, but I'm going to need at least 2 to get to the R18, which is suggested for this area, but I'd rather have R30. So if I have to do 3 pieces or 4 pieces, might as well. I mean, if it's cold, it's cold. Now, some of this is far enough down that it's not going to matter a whole lot, but it's the fact that some of it's not. So we're going to go ahead and power wash these 2 walls just inside the room, or just barely just outside the room. That way we can get these walls nice and clean and get the bolt paint off, and then we can seal up the gaps with the liquid nails, mortar, and concrete, and then we're going to dry lock it, and then we're going to start building our walls. So I don't know how quickly this is going to go. Might be a few weeks without a video. Might be a few days. You know, I don't think it's going to be a few months without a video, because I think I've got it figured out to where I should be able to order the stuff, get it, and maybe only do one video a week for the winter instead of two. I don't know. We'll see how it goes. I know for the power washing, and I probably got hours of that to do, and then filling in the gaps. If I'm actually doing it, it really shouldn't take a whole lot of time, even though I rarely ever actually get down here and actually just spend an entire afternoon. Although today I did. I got it cleaned up. I mean, there was a shelf over here, and there was a shelf over there just off camera, and then there was boxes and boxes from last year when I did the two smaller rooms. So I got them out of the way. Got a lot of accumulated rubbish, I guess is the word. Stuff I don't need. You know, I mean, the printer that probably doesn't work. It's been down here for like 3 years. Computer's been down here for like 4 years, 5 years. Vacuum sealer for food. It's been down here for about 5 years. You know, accumulated rubbish that I really don't need. So I got rid of a lot of that. I did keep some things though, just because, you know, you don't want to get rid of everything. But we're going to try to get started on this sometime this week, and we'll try to keep you posted and keep you updated. I'm sorry this is a really long video. I'm just really excited about getting started on this. I really want my man cave done, and I got some good ideas for how I want it to look and what I want it to be. I got a lot of work to do. I've done a lot of research on this. I mean, I actually started the research on this about 10 years ago, where I had everything planned out and actually figured out how much money it was going to save me in my gas bill in the wintertime. I didn't figure out electricity savings because I don't air condition in the basement, even though I'm sure some of that comes through the floors. But I am going to have to insulate the ceilings, which I didn't plan for initially, because I really initially didn't plan for this to be a place for me to record videos. So I'm going to have to insulate the floors, or the ceiling, I guess in this case, so that it deadens the sound a little bit of anyone walking up there. You know, and then deadening this wall over here by the furnace to kill that sound, and then deaden the other wall in case the washing machine's running or the dryer's running. So that's a little more work than I anticipated, a little more materials than I anticipated, or than I planned for 10 years ago. But then again, I'm kind of glad I didn't do it 10 years ago when I wanted to, because then it wouldn't be up to what I need, and I'd have to tear most of it out or go to the garage. And I really don't want to go to the garage in the wintertime. Although, once I get the basement done, I think the garage will be next. Whether it's wintertime still, or whether it's summertime or spring, I'm planning on getting that garage done. But first, I need a place to put everything that's in the garage. And I think I got most of the lean-to cleaned out, so I can move most of it straight into there. I'm just not sure if I'm going to incorporate the lean-to into the garage plan, or into the garage project, or if it's going to remain outside as just a place to hold the mower. So I have to figure all that out. But I do have specific ideas for that as well. And I might get started on that this winter if I can get this done first. Which I doubt I will, because I work really slow. That's why I speed videos up, is because I am slow. The stuff I moved probably should have only taken about an hour. It took me probably 4. But I take breaks. And I put everything neatly in the other room so I can still reach everything. I can still get to everything.
So if I buried something that I need, I can still get to it. Because that's one of the advantages of going slow. You can think things through a little better. Anyway, we'll catch back up with you guys later. Hopefully, we'll get started on the power washing. Bye.